And now, marine weather around Alaska.
All right, starting out with the southeast forecast here, marine forecast for the southeast coast. Tomorrow, Sunday, south winds 20 knots here for the south coast, and east-southeast 15 to 30 knots for the north coast. Lynn Canal, Stevens Passage, southeast at 15, Clarence Strait, southeast at 20. And then for Monday, south coast here, east-southeasterlies at 15, north coast east at 15 to 20. And for the central northern inner channels, southeast winds at 15, Clarence Strait, southeast at 20 with 6-foot seas. Prince William Sound, light east wind tomorrow at about 10 knots. Variable winds for Cook Inlet at 10 knots. Variable winds here for the Barren Islands and Kamishak Bay as well, with east winds or east to northeast winds of 15 to 20 knots for the North Gulf Coast with 7 to 8-foot seas. And then for the day Monday, Cook Inlet, north at 10 to 15 knots with 3-foot seas. Northeast at 15 for Kamishak Bay and the Barren Islands, and east-northeast 15 knots for the North Gulf Coast. Light northeast breeze for Prince William Sound. Kodiak Island, variable winds at 10 knots tomorrow. Alaska Peninsula, variable to northwest at 10 to 15 knots, and northwest at 10 for Bristol Bay. Following day, Monday, variable winds 10 to 15 knots, Kodiak Island. Light variable winds here for the peninsula, north at 15 for Bristol Bay. Eastern Aleutians tomorrow, anywhere from west to southwest to northwest winds at 15 to 20 knots. And from Amchitka Island here across the Atka Island area, west 15 to 20 knots. Kiska to Shimei northwest at 15 to 20. Then for the day on Monday, Western Aleutians, west-northwest 15 to 20 knots. Adak and Atka, southwest 15 to 20 knots, and the Eastern Aleutians, southwest winds at 15 knots. And for the southwest coast, we've got north winds 10 to 15 knots forecast for tomorrow. St. Lawrence Island, Norton Sound about the same, north at 15, northeast 15. St. Matthew Island, Pribilof Islands, variable at 10 knots, seas down to 3 feet. And for Monday, light variable winds continue here for the Pribilofs at 10 knots. With slight seas, north at 10 for the southwest coast. St. Lawrence Island, northeast at 10 for Norton Sound. North winds at 20 knots with 4-foot seas for St. Matthew Island. And for the Arctic coast, brisk wind advisories tomorrow. East to northeast winds 25 to 30 knots. And the Chukchi Sea here, north to northeast at 10 to 15. And then for the day on, Monday, still looking at brisk wind advisories for the Arctic coast for 25 to 30 knot winds, and for the Chukchi Sea, north to northeast winds at 10 to 20 knots.